Potential tournament contestants, and welcome to my PowerPoint presentation on the rules and information about how to enter the Superb Owl number 3 Gods and Chain tournament, a tournament with a $1,000 prize pool. Since I know none of you like reading, I made you a video so you can just listen to the video, follow the instructions in the video, click the links in the description of this video, and you will be able to find and correctly follow directions for this tournament if you listen carefully. The Superb Owl number 3, this is just a brief summary of what we're going to go over. It's a free to enter Gods and Chain tournament with $1,000 in prizes, a unique seeding system, and that I will personally manually seed the entire 256 player field. We have a top 25 show where I talk about the top players in the tournament and why I put them, where I put them in the seeding. This tournament will be structured with only Welcome Core, Divine Order, Mortal Judgment, Promotional, or Winter Wonderlands cards of the non-legendary or mythic variety. No cards from the sets of Genesis, Trial of the Gods, Ether Bots, or any legendary or mythic cards will be allowed. So those are the key rules to follow. We will mention that once again. How to register for this tournament. So here in the PowerPoint slide, I had type in ! tournament in chat. You can do that if you're on my Twitch. However, in the YouTube where this is being posted, you can just go in the comment section. It's much easier for you. Follow the link onto Challenge, register for the tournament on Challenge, go to my Discord, the Superb Owl 3 Discord, link once again in the description field. And then when you go there, you go into the field marked hashtag or the channel mark enter tournament. Yeah, there's a channel named enter tournament. You comment with your GU player ID number. And some of you don't know where to find that. You can go to gudex.com, search for your name, and then it will be right under your name. So here you got Fake Muse, and my player ID number is 147667. So that would be where I would put in the entry. So the reason why I'm doing this is to make things easier on me and kind of help prevent multi-accounting as well. So for me, it's a lot easier for me to check what people played and to check to see if you played legal decks if I have your player ID. Keep in mind, half of the people in this tournament are going to have their in-game name be question mark, question mark, question mark. With that type of information, it's really hard to look up to see if they played a legal deck or not, because that's not really much information. That's why we have the requirement this time around, because nobody plays with unique names anymore. So again, I just talked about the Discord name requirement, and your name needs to be reasonably close to what it is on Challenge. So for instance, in this example, Caution Fun on Challenge, and then his name in Discord might be TST Caution Fun. For that, I will be able to know who you are, because Caution Fun is a legend in the community. I know who you are. This is acceptable. All right. But however, if you just name yourself after like a personality trait, like this example here, you name yourself Wine Lover 69 on Challenge and your Meepo Perion on Discord, I'm supposed to connect the dots. I mean, I know Meepo loves wine, but that could be somebody else who also loves wine. So if I can't figure it out, then you will get disqualified. So I'm not saying that it has to be a certain way, but what I am saying is if you're too far off and I can't figure it out, you won't be in the tournament. So if you want to be safe, make it the exact same. And then there's no debate. So, and here, if you don't know how to change your name in a Discord server, this only updates the name in the Superb Owl 3 Discord server, so you can keep your name in all the other Discord servers, but there's an arrow on the page of the Discord server. You click that and edit the server profile, hit this button right here, and then that will give you the option of picking a nickname. Change this to whatever your name is on Challenge, and then there will be no dispute on how to find you. The tournament format, rounds 1 through 3, will be best of 3 matches requiring you to win with 2 different gods. And the rest of the rounds, excluding the finals, will be best of 5, requiring you to win 3 different gods. And if you make it all the way to the finals, it will be best of 7, requiring you to win with 4 different gods. So basically, after you win with a god, you can't play it anymore. The format will be Welcome, Core, Divine Order, Mortal Judgment, Promo, Winter Wonderlands cards, Common/Rares/Epics only. You can't play Legendary or Mythic cards. All cards from the sets Genesis, Trial of the Gods, Light's Verdict, Ether Bots are all banned. Those are key points to look out there. And here's an example for Carcass. This literally happened in a tournament a couple of years ago. This example's old. But if you win game 1 with War, lose game 2 with Nature, you can play Nature again in game number 3. But if you play War, that's illegal. So you can't do that. You will be disqualified. Running an Underbrush Boar in game 3 with Nature also results in getting disqualified as well. So not only do you have to keep track of your deck's legality, you got to make sure that if you've won with a god, don't play it again in that round. Only that round. So for instance, in round number 1, if you win with War and Nature, in round number 2, you can play War and Nature again if you would like. But you can't play them in the same round. So in round number 1, you win with War. You can't play War in round number 1. Go ahead and clarify that point, because I know some people are going to be asking about that. Penalties for illegal decks. So running an illegal deck results in a match forfeit in this tournament. The reason why I'm going with this harsh penalty is because if I make it a game and it was a 2-0 sweep and then you're tied at 1 each, and then you have to coordinate the match, and then half of those times they don't get the match completed on time, and then we got to figure out a solution for that. It's a headache, all right? So finish your match in one fell swoop. If you run an illegal deck, then you get disqualified. It's that simple. If you queue the wrong deck and you catch yourself queuing it, like you queue the wrong deck on accident, game number 1, and you notice it right away, concede that game, take the 1-game loss. If you self-report an illegal deck, you only get credit for that 1-game loss, and the match will continue as if your opponent just beat you in that game. So if your opponent played Nature in that game, then Nature is banned for your opponent in the rest of the match. They get credit for the win for that game, and then you just play the match as it would normally continue had that had been an actual game played. And here I have it bold at the bottom, because some people don't understand this. It does not matter if the card was not played or if the card was drawn at all. If it doesn't matter. As long as it was in your deck was illegal, and that's grounds for disqualification. So again, it's going to be important that you check your deck list very carefully to make sure your decks are legal. Otherwise, you will get a match penalty. There are no exceptions for this rule. I will be personally checking every single deck of every match before I validate who wins the match. So that is important. The tournament timeline. This is the timeline for the tournament here. The registration deadline is for is midnight on Wednesday, January 25th, assuming we don't have 256 legal entrants occur before then. Last year, when I hosted a very similar event, the event did fill up before the deadline, and we actually shut down registration before then and opened the prediction brackets up a little bit longer. That's something that could happen again this year. We've got already a lot of entrants, and I haven't even posted this YouTube video yet. So that's one thing to keep in mind. If you're planning on entering or thinking about entering, go ahead, get in there. And if you can't play before the event, you figure out, oh, I can't play before the event starts, DM me and I will unregister you from the event. It's just that simple. All right. So we have a live top 25 show on Wednesday, January 25th. So this is a fun thing. I really enjoyed doing this last year. I personally rank the players I think are the top 25 in the entire tournament. I give you my explanations for all of them, and yeah, take a few jabs at a few people. This is a fun show. You should join for sure. The prediction bracket will open midnight that night, Thursday, January 26th, And it'll be open up for 24 hours. So there you go. That will be for the prediction bracket. And the prediction bracket closes, again, a little bit early on January 27th. And as soon as the prediction bracket closes, it is open to play your matches. So here is the timeline for the tournament. We have a lot of extra time for rounds 1 and 2. Historically, these are the rounds that are the most chaotic for a tournament organizer because people don't like to schedule their matches. You have a lot of no-shows, and those tend to work themselves out in the early rounds. So that's why we have more time for the first 2 rounds, and then the tournament will pick up pace as it goes on. Now, if you get through, January 27th, you're eager to play, you play your match, you win, and the other person who you would face in the round of 128 wins their match as well, you can play ahead. You can play ahead during this phase. You just can't play right when the prediction brackets open. There's a 24-hour portion that you can't play. But after the prediction brackets close, you can play ahead all the way up until the Final Four. You can't play your Final Four match ahead of schedule because we want to have that as a live finale. But you can play all of these ahead of schedule as long as your opponent agrees. So that's one thing. In the past, I've been more strict on enforcing a set schedule for these type of things. But if you and your opponent agree, then I'm not going to stop you. Now, there is no penalty for declining to play. Like, if you finish your match on January 27th, your opponent that you'll face in the round of 128 also finishes on January 27th. There is no penalty if they want to wait until February 1st to even start talking to you. All right, I just want to emphasize that point. So just go ahead, and it is completely optional, but this is the tentative schedule that we will, at the minimum, you need to get that first round in by February 1st. Otherwise, I'm starting to DQ people. And right here is when we start DQing people, the number on the right there. Tournament seeding will be determined by me, Fake Muse, based on how good I think everyone is. And I'm going to be cheating. I'm going to be using data. It's going to be a data-driven basis here. Basically, your past tournament successes weigh very highly in my rankings because I rank tournament success more than weekend rank success. And weekend ranked win percentage will play a role, and the last tiebreak will be your peak MMR from the month at the point that you registered. Basically, when I put your registration, when I confirmed it on Challenge and my Discord, and then I go to your GUDEX page, I peel your MMR and I put it in my spreadsheet, that will be where you're ranked, basically. The top 25 show will be a walkthrough of the reasonings. I talk about the seeding of everybody. People will get their feelings hurt. It's a lot of fun. Reddit will probably complain that I rigged it because the Infinite Mana players are ranked too high or something stupid like that. Like, of course they're ranked too high. They're the best players in the game. It will be on January 25th at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. It will be a lot of fun. You should definitely join that show. One of my favorite things from last year's tournament. Matchmaking. I am very strict on this. All players must make an effort to schedule their match by a reasonable time, and you must do so in the matchmaking channel. So basically, if you don't communicate in the matchmaking channel, I'm going to assume that you're not putting any effort in. And then if your match doesn't get played in time, I will be making a disqualification judgment based on who put the most effort into attempting to play the match. If you didn't make any effort in the matchmaking channel, you will get forfeited, even if you were just living in the other person's DMs. So public communication is strongly advised because otherwise you do put yourself at risk of getting disqualified. You're putting a lot of trust into your opponent. Prediction bracket. The prediction brackets will be open for 24 hours, as I mentioned, as soon as the official bracket is live. It will be a fun thing to do. It's going to be winner takes all. The winner gets a shadow deck puddle coat, courtesy of me. Yeah, it's all coming out of my wallet. I'm not making money on this tournament. Let's just put it that way. Prediction brackets will be open midnight January 26th and close midnight January 27th. Streaming/casting. I will be broadcasting as many matches as you all submit. Last year, I broadcasted every single match that was submitted. We had a lot of fun. We had lots of content, and it was very good times. It will be on my Twitch channel, and I will open up my DMs to any content creators or anybody in general who wants to join on my stream as a co-host for a cast. It is open to anybody. Don't have to be an infinite mana. You don't have to be good at Gods Unchained. You just have to want to be a part of the broadcast. This is, I want to get a wide variety of people and personalities on there and try to have fun. And I think that will be great for the community. As a potential reward for people who submit content, every person who submits a video of their tournament match to me will be entered to win a Diamond Legendary. A Diamond Scylla Carnival Ringleader will be up for grabs for one lucky person who submits content to the tournament. That will be very fun. The return of Waffles, or we call them Waffles on my stream. Other streams call them Raffles. But basically, there will be what I call an impact card of the night. So something that we saw on one of the submitted games on stream. And we will make that a raffle up for grabs for the viewers of the stream. Right at the end of the stream, card of the night will get raffled off. And the prizes are thanks to the people who voted for me third for Content Creator of the Year, Crypto Content Creator of the Year on the Play to Earn Gaming poll. I won $1,000, and as promised, the entire $1,000 prize that I won goes right back to the community. It will be in this prize pool. The prize distribution is as follows: $250, $150, third and fourth, because I don't like third place games, are $100 each. Fifth through eighth are $50 each, and ninth through 16th are $25 each. So, we've got some frequently asked questions that are always talked about in the tournament setting here. What happens if I generate an illegal card off of a random nature generation spell? Obviously, nature has plenty of ways to generate random cards. This example is using Celestial Stag, generating Avatar of Nature. And the answer is nothing generated from a randomly generated card will count against you. It is all legal as long as the card did not start in your deck. When I look up deck list after a match is played, it only shows what started in your deck. So do not fear to run randomly generated generation cards like Celestial Stag. Nothing bad will happen. So another question is, how do you report results? And this year, I have changed the way results are reported. Last year, I allowed people to go on to challenge, and that was a little bit messy because anybody could report any score. People lie, and it was a mess. Like, I had somebody last year who reported the incorrect score. They reported themselves winning when they really lost, and then I had to go in and look it up, and then I noticed, yeah, they really lost. So, yeah, to prevent that from happening, all scores are reported in the Discord channel. You go to the hashtag results page, and you tag yourself, and you tag your opponent, and you tag the score. Example: at Shushu29 2-1 at FakeMuse9, a sample result that could happen in the tournament. I wanted to use an example of me losing in the YouTube PowerPoint presentation because you're not going to see me losing in the tournament. And you're like, wait a minute, are you playing in the tournament? Yes. Per Superb Owl tradition, Fake Muse plays in his own tournament. I am the winner of the Superb Owl 1 and plan to win the Superb Owl 3. So come at me, bro. All results will be reviewed by Fake Muse for legality of decks. Players are not allowed to report directly to challenge. So again, there you go. And other considerations. I added these in from just now. I decided that I didn't have enough on my original Twitch stream that I talked about. So I have added a sportsmanship clause. Fake Muse reserves the right to ban anybody for any reason from this tournament. Anyone who I deem as angle shooting or attempting to cheat the game in any way will get banned. Basically, don't be an asshole and you'll be fine. I mean, I don't plan for the sportsmanship clause to get activated. I haven't used it in the past, but it's there, and people are getting weird in these tournaments. So let's keep things peaceful and civil. This is a community event. Let's try to have fun, kids. Respect people's time. This is one of my pet peeves. So if you commit to a time for your match, show up at that time. I've had people show up 30 minutes late, an hour late, and that's just so disrespectful. It's horrendous. And some of these people have lives. So hypothetically, if you're not able to show up to your match on time and then your opponent has to go somewhere, well, if you're not able to coordinate a time to play that match, that's going to be a very big consideration on who wins that match. All right, so show up on time to your matches. Be respectful to your opponent. If you're not able to show up on time, tell your opponent ahead of time that you're going to be 15 minutes late or however long is going to be late. And last but not least, if you've got any questions, my DMs are always open. You can comment here in this YouTube video. You can reach out to me on Discord. I'm FakeMuse9, number 8113. On Twitter, you can reach out on my Twitter. I'm FakeMuseTV or at FakeMuse9 on Twitter. And Instagram is a dead platform. You don't need it. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you all playing in my tournament.